What's up, everybody? It's the Tip Podcast back at you again with another brand new motherfucking episode. And of course, as always, I got my boy Brett here in the motherfucking virtual studio, pouring up. What are you pouring up over there?
A little bit of bourbon whiskey.
For a minute, I thought it said NOB or MOB. I'm like, whoa, that's some fucking gangsta fucking Tupac shit right there.
Getting on some death row shit.
Yeah, man. But we're back, baby. We're back for another brand new episode. Like I said, he's pouring up that knob. Is that knob?
Yep, Knob Creek.
Okay. We're drinking on that Knob Creek today.
Courtesy of Scott. Scott got it for me.
Scott, man, shout out Scott. So we need to have him back on because I know last episode, episode 37, if you got, or episode 38, right? We're in episode 38, right?
We're on 39 now.
We're 39 today, but 38 was the past one. He was supposed to be on that episode and something happened, internet issues or something.
He got in a car wreck and died.
Whoa.
Yeah.
God, we're coming out 100 right now.
I just came back from his funeral.
Jesus, dude.
He'll forgive me when I get to heaven, I'm sure.
Oh my word. Oh god. As you can tell, Brett's he's probably like 5 in right now, as you can tell.
Oh yeah, well, I just drank a bottle of wine. But I'm wearing the mask.
Okay.
On purpose.
Okay. Let the people know. Talk to them.
Well, you are the one that sent me an alarm this week. You're like, hey, funny thing, I'm working with some cats that you like work in the same room with, but because you're like in a different position,
okay,
they just felt like you being in a different position, just splitting you up would be like safe enough, as if coronavirus knew the difference between each person's position. So if you do have COVID, I didn't want to get sick, so I just wanted to wear my mask just in case.
Taking that precaution.
Yeah, but I also, I figured since I'm wearing it, I could talk about some of the annoying things that, that when I see people wear masks,
okay,
I'm just like, why are you even doing it, right?
Oh, I love this. Okay, I know where you're going with this. Okay, but proceed. Let's talk.
So like, this is like, hey, I'm wearing my mask just to throw it in your face, like you have your nose sticking out, don't even care, you're just doing it, right?
Yeah.
And then you got the then you got the just hold it all the way down, it's like it's on your chin, like COVID only gets on your double chin. and then you have the people that do the whole, this is like normally like soccer moms, this is let it hang like that. like they forgot to just put it on,
or they forgot that it's still there. Like they had it at one point and then they forget and they're like, oh shit, this thing's still here.
Right. Like they just got done eating their fish and chips. Then they just forgot to strap back on. Yeah. So anyway.
So what made you think about this? What made you kind of like, I guess, want to bring it up right now?
Well, okay. So we're going back into flu season, which ironically, okay. I think I saw some stats. I somewhere up in Canada or somewhere on TV, I saw something, and of course, this is social media at its finest. But rocking my sweet shades here.
Dude, those are some sweet shades, dude.
It's just
you look like in the 80s, the detectives that go out and you're doing like the paperwork, but you want to be a bad boy at the same time, and you're like fuck crossing your fingers every day, like God, I hope I get a fucking street case and I go out there and at least like fucking shoot a couple of rounds here and there.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of that's what it tells me when I look at it.
yeah. So what were we talking about?
The masks, what you hate, Canada. Not that you hate Canada. Shout out to people in Canada if you're listening over there.
They said that there was some stat where the health department, whatever, they said that the flu was down 95% this year.
Okay.
As in COVID killed the flu.
Okay.
You're saying? I mean, it's crazy. It's just like what's happening is, I don't know what it is. I just got a drink. Hold on.
Ooh, straight to the dome. Let's go, baby. That's the first one that we're gonna take on within this fine episode of the Tip podcast. I feel like overall, just masking up is it's really gonna prevent you getting the normal flu at the same time, because obviously you're we're doing something that we're not used to doing here in the States, right? Like you don't see us really wearing masks and walking around and, you know, taking that precaution only because, you know, COVID arrived. Now all of a sudden we're switching up gears and doing something that is not out of the norm, right? That kind
I
of makes
feel
sense,
like
right?
I was the first Caucasian American to wear a face mask in public on January 6th of 2020.
Man, you remember that date pretty good.
Well, oh man, that hit hard.
They hard.
Whew.
Did you eat before this? I want to ask you that first because this is going to tell me if you're going to feel pretty tipsy. Maybe
No, I
before,
didn't.
man.
Well, I ate. Yeah, here's the thing. My heartburn's gonna kick in. I
Oh
gotta throw
no.
in some Tums. But no, because the reason I remember the date was because that's when I came back from our overseas trip,
Okay.
and I was just hacking. And when I was
I
in
remember
South
that.
Korea,
Yep.
I was like, man, I need a face mask. I need a face mask. That's all I wanted, was just because I was so sick that I didn't want anybody else to have what I had. And that's why, you know, I always suspected that I might have had COVID in the very, very beginning. And, you know, it shouldn't be any surprise that I thought that, because the very first case of COVID that was officially on record was in Everett. So, I mean, it was clearly, and, you know, there were further testing showing that it had been in Seattle in November, actually. So, scientists got fired. Oh, man,
Dang.
Remind me to never do that ever again. Ooh.
Hey man, you do what you please here on the
straight.
pod, man. I mean, you're the captain of the ship. Like I said, I'm your first sailor, so do what you want. Fucking gargling down a whole bottle by yourself, just swigging it.
Sometimes I think I've got, like, I can handle things, like, you know, like I see it done on TV. I'm like, oh, I could do that, and then I do it, and oh, I instantly regret it. And now this is for everyone to see and hear. So so anyway, so you know, no, so having come back and not knowing any of that going on, I was just so sick, like so sick, that I'm like, man, I don't want anybody to have this. And so you know, I think that's why I'm kind of the outlier when it comes to me and my conservative friends, because I have, you know, friends of from everywhere. But my conservative friends are just like really want to believe Trump with all of their heart and soul. This thing is fake and it's not real. But I'm telling you, just from firsthand experience, even Chris Christie is talking right now about the importance of wearing a mask. And I'm telling you, dude, whatever I had, it was gnarly. Bob Marley gnarly.
Bob Marley gnarly. Okay.
It was really bad. And so I wore a mask, and then, you know, and I was sick. So here's the other thing too. I was sick wearing a mask. And, you know, and you touch your mouth, you know, I don't know, hundreds of times a day. So I ended up getting like 4 or 5 people sick, and they were like, dude, whatever you had was gnarly. And that was even with wearing a mask. So the mask is not a true protection. I mean, it's just like, if you're sick, man, stay home. Yeah. And so we're just getting into fall, everything's starting to cool down. So in a lot of areas of the United States, you know, we're starting to see the flu and COVID spikes. You're starting to see it, you know. So anyway, so sorry, man, I feel like I'm dead right now. I'll never do that again.
You'll do that again later today. Watch.
But that's where, you know, I know that there's a lot of like mockery and shame, but dude, these might be our last line of defense, you know, minus a vaccine. And I think, yeah, I'm telling you, you know, the more information we get, I'm not saying that I'm gonna take the vaccine, but I'm beginning to grow less weary of it. I think that, you know, the elderly and the more the people with, you know, that are prone to sickness and, you know, have bad health or whatnot, I would probably say that let them do that vaccine. Because I would hate to be on that side of history where I played this and I went down on this Titanic, you know, saying, oh, nope, you know, I'm a climate denier, I'm a flat earther, and I'm an anti-vaxxer. You know, when time and time again, modern medicine has, in many ways, proven effective. I think that in our country, we do have. Now, I don't want that to be mistaken with my other belief that we over medicate in this country. I think that we We overprescribe. That's why you're seeing doctors kind of reeling back on their opioid prescriptions. They're pulling that back. They're realizing, man, we've really overprescribed on that and turned a lot of people into addicts.
Yeah.
So, but as far as this COVID thing, we're learning a lot as we go. But at least people, respect it, man. Just wear your mask.
Yeah. Well, going back on that tip, we were talking about how there's the different forms, right? That you see, like people wearing them underneath their nose, underneath their chin, and just hanging. It just comes to me saying, or asking actually more to be specific, why the fuck do you even have it on? Or even like on you on your face somewhat if you're not gonna fucking wear it right. And that's just me being like, is it really that big of a deal? Like really, like just to have that. I mean, I'm coming from a background of like when I used to work at a certain company, I'd wear that thing 8 hours a day. See what I'm saying? So I was comfortable, I was used to it. And even my wife sometimes like, man, you wear that thing throughout your whole shift. I'm like, for the most part, I do.
And
like
gloves,
I'll take it off. I'll take it off maybe during lunch or something when I'm eating, obviously, because I'm not,
not me.
In a fucking hole.
I try to shove the food right through it.
But that's it. But so, I mean, yeah. I get it. It's hard to breathe sometimes. It does get a little hot, especially in the summertime, right? Totally understand.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, it's last line of defense. Let's just take precaution and just do that at least, very minimum. And if you're sick, stay home, stay away from people. Stay home and get better, and then go back out. So
one thing I noticed that early on with these masks, it's something so America, because you look at the mask, and prior to this pandemic, when you would think of face masks in public, what would you think when I say, oh man, I saw a whole bunch of people wearing face masks in public? What, prior to the pandemic? Mm-hmm. What am I talking about?
Like what would my first initial reaction be or thought?
No. I'm saying like there's a group of people that are known for wearing face masks in public.
Okay.
Who are they?
I feel like this is a trick question. And I feel dumb if and I'll feel stupid if I answer it right or wrong.
Who? No, no. It's the Asians, right?
Okay. I see what you're saying. My bad. I'm a little slow, man.
No.
For all the viewers out there, sorry. I'm not the fucking brightest crayon on the box. I'll admit that first here on the pod. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yes, that is correct.
And that was, when I was in South Korea, I was like, man, you saw so many people wearing face masks. Well, anyway, and so, but they're always like the medical looking ones, right?
The medical. Yep.
Come to America though, when we have to wear these face masks everywhere, then all of a sudden you're designers. I saw a guy wearing I don't want to pronounce it wrong, but I'm not a luxury guy, even though I'm
first class baby.
Fine. Burberry, is that
Burberry?
How you pronounce it?
You said it right.
He was wearing a Burberry mask. I kid you not. But that's so American to me. That's so American that we are wearing masks. Like, okay, I'm just gonna be straight up and 100 with the Tip Touch audience. I was at Target with my daughter, and at Target, when you walk in, there's a whole mask display, right? Like these. And I was like, I really need to get some masks to match my outfit, so it all goes together. So I did. I got, their maximum was like 6 masks per whatever shopper.
Yep.
So I was only able to get, they sell them in 2 packs. So I was able to only get 3 packages. But that's what I did. I was looking for stuff that matched, and you should have seen how happy my wife was.
No, I see what you're saying. No, for real.
I was telling you, I saw someone making masks, dude. I want to make some Tip Touch masks. So
I'll be dope.
Sell them to our Tip Touch audience. That would be so cool.
That'd be dope. That'd be awesome. We definitely we have to come up with a cool, like, just how would we definitely put like the logo on there and just have it on the mask and then flaunt it. I'd definitely wear that. I'd rock it. But yeah, you're right. And I did the same thing almost. I'm kind of in the same boat with you, and you're out and about. You're like, man, I really do need to, buy a few. That obviously that kind of, I guess you can say that I like, or something that has, the mask has something that I like on it or something, like a, not the brands, not anything like that, but like I'm a Marvel guy, as you can see, I'm rocking a Marvel shirt, and I have a bunch of cool different superhero ones that I like that I've seen. I'm like, man, why not? Have fun with it at least. If it's going to be something that's going to make like your life, I guess, miserable to some people, Try to have fun with it. That's how I look at it. I'm like, fuck it, brighten up someone's day by, I've gotten compliments on it, like, oh, yo, where'd you get that one, or where'd you get this one? And I'm like, I just go to such and such, and bam, right there.
Turn it into a talking piece.
Exactly.
Yeah,
literally.
Conversation piece. Speaking of conversation piece, I want to switch gears a little bit.
All right.
So back to Scott. We were talking about him earlier before he died in that fiery car accident. And
burned into cinders.
I need to reach out to him and see when he can get on with us, but I don't know if it's scheduled or what.
Okay.
But he was telling me, what was it, last week or sometime? He's like, dude, he goes, you got to get this squatty potty. You got to get the squatty potty. I'm like, are you serious? Like, is it that big of a deal? And he's a big viewer of Shark Tank. He loves Shark Tank. He's always talking about all the cool things that are on that show.
Okay.
And so he said that this was one of those things that was on Shark Tank. And I'm like, so explain the squatty potty. What is the squatty potty? And he's like, okay. He goes, so you're in the bathroom, and then you have this kind of like a stool, that you can rest your feet on. You elevate your feet so that your legs start to go up. So you're in a squatting position on your toilet. And so apparently, like when you're taking a what do you call it? What can we say on YouTube?
A deuce.
Yeah, taking a deuce.
Now you're taking,
and there's like a little the valve that it comes out, right? There's like a little kink at the end, right? Well, this opens that kink up a little bit, like as if it were your hose and it was bent, and then so you're opening it up for like better flow. Mm-hmm. And so I did my own research on it, of course, and they were talking about how in Asian and African cultures they are known for squatting, and what doctors have noticed was that they have lower rates of like abdominal, or like, was it like prostate? Is it prostate? No, not prostate. Colon cancer. And
interesting. Okay.
And less cases of hemorrhoids and the whole 9 yards, right? Tip touch, I love you. Bear with me.
He's getting to it. Stuff. He's getting to it.
Yeah, and so I'm like, okay. And so, I put a post on the tip touch, and of course I was joking. I would never buy one on OfferUp. I would never buy a gently
used, few marks on there. No big.
But I noticed that Amazon was delivering that day. The day, I think I bought it yesterday.
Okay.
I bought it yesterday, and it came, like, I bought it at 11. By 5 p.m. there was a Prius that showed up. And they just handled it. They just handed it over to me and smiled. I smiled back, and I just stared.
You're fucking excited, weren't you? You're like, God, I'm so excited to use this thing.
Oh man, so that's what it was. Well, my I'm on a schedule, so I don't really have to go until the morning. Well, at the morning I'm always at work, so I was like a little bummed out that I didn't get to use it.
Okay.
I think I ate a little bit extra so I could use it, dude. I'm telling you, I'm so glad I got it.
It's the truth, huh?
So glad I got it. Have you ever had one?
Now you're making me curious now.
Dude, okay. I think, okay, if you just want to see what it's like. So the one I got, it was a bamboo styled one. It cost $40.
Bamboo. Yeah. I fucking love it. Bamboo style. Okay, proceed.
Gold-plated one, because everything I do it big.
I do it big, right? Gold fucking plated.
So, but before I got it, I tried it. I tried it at work, and I put my backpack down, and I just to elevate my legs a little bit.
Yeah,
I was only going 4 inches. But at this one, it has 2 settings. You have the 7-inch and the 9-inch. I tried the 9-inch. 9-inch is way too much. That's like, I can't, that, like, I'm doing the splits basically. So I just went with the 7-inch, but I love it.
Dang, interesting.
Like, this is one of those things that I'm just like, this is unbelievable.
So I've heard about this before, and people would always say, like, they would, they would really recommend it, and I always kind of brushed it off, like, not really, it doesn't really stir the pot as in curiosity for me. But now that you're talking about it, like, But here, okay, let me talk about something in relation to that about like letting it all kind of flow out smoothly.
Yeah.
So since this whole pandemic happened and everything, one of the things that I've kind of wanted to, take control of on my end was to, better my immune system. And if it's one thing I could do on my end, is take multivitamins, right? So I was at the store, I got some multivitamins for men, and I started taking them every day. And dude, I'll tell you what, I've been like, things are rolling smooth. I'll just say that. I don't want to go into deep description, but everything just flows out so smooth. And before, I'm like, it has to be these fucking multivitamins, because ever since I started taking them, for some reason, whatever it is that's like, going in my system now, it's making things just flow out easier. And now, like with this thing, if I were to add that on top of it, whoo-wee. So it'd be like going to the bathroom would be like an experience again. You know what I'm saying?
Quicker and less strain. You know how like sometimes you'll get like one that's just like you're forcing it,
Yeah, there's been those times, trust me. You're like all pale, or you're like all red in the face.
Yeah. your blood
Sweating.
vessels are just your veins are just popping out. Yeah. I'm telling you, it was a noticeable difference. And I'm telling you, with the amount of colon issues we have in this country, and my biological grandfather, God bless his soul, he died of colon cancer.
R.I.P.
I never got to meet him either. He I don't know if I can really go into the details of the family, because everyone was adopted and everyone was shuffled around and abandoned. So but anyway, eventually we found who he was, and I never got to meet him. But anyway, I hear he was a funny guy. That's probably where I got my sense of humor. So awesome. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, for people that just anybody, I mean, it was just like it's one of those things people don't talk about. We don't talk about our time in the bathroom. We don't talk about, just because it's just one of those issues, right? Like, ew. But I'm telling you, this was a delighted addition to the Otto household.
I'll have to look into it. And trust me, like I said, I'm curious to try like things like that, that obviously would make things a lot easier. And on the topic of making things easier, I kind of have like a little story of, of something I guess I was curious about doing or purchasing. And I finally pulled the trigger on it and I bought one. And I wanted to ask you to see if maybe excuse me, it's the orange juice. I wanted to see if you ever tried one yourself, to see if you could tell me or vouch for it that it's the truth, because I've talked to a few people about it. But anyways, Amazon Prime was on the 15th and 16th, and me, I'm a loyal Amazon Prime holder, so I was checking out the deals, just kind of scrolling through and seeing what was for sale, because they had some pretty good deals on there, so and all that. Anyways, I come across an air fryer, so I'm looking at it. I'm like, I've heard about these. And it's like always a sign, because every time at the store, I always pass by one and I look at it. I'm like, it's like always in my face, like, buy me, buy me, buy me. So I started looking at it, and I was reading about like what you can do with it. You can make like, fries, French fries, burger patties, and all this other stuff. Like, it would come out, I guess, from what I understood, and you correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of like the healthier way or healthier version of deep frying instead of deep frying, right?
Yeah. So what it does is it just it fries your food.
Okay.
The oil falls down, so you're not cooking your food in the oil.
Okay.
And it's just using the heated air.
Okay. So I'm sure you probably have one in your household. But anyways, I bought one. Now I'm so stoked to use it. But it's crazy now that, like, we're looking at things like this, like back then in comparison to now, obviously, we're family men, we're fathers, we're husbands. And we were like, you were with the squatty potty, you're like all excited to try that out. And I'm over here fucking getting stoked about using this fucking air fryer.
Yeah.
But I pulled the trigger on it and I bought one. And my wife's super stoked to use it.
Which one did you get?
I don't remember the brand. Okay, I don't remember the brand, but check this out. You can control it via your phone.
Oh my gosh,
dude, it's overkill. I know, but it was a good deal. It was $80. It was normally like 100 and something.
Yeah.
And I was taking time looking at the correct one, and I was just kind of like talking to a few people at work about it, and they were like, it's a game changer. You'll love it, even if you have kids, and you can do nuggets, fries, all that jazz. So here I am, so stoked. It comes in tomorrow, and I'm anxious to try that thing out, because fuck, I love fries. So shit, dump a whole fucking buttload of those.
Okay.
Okay, tell me.
Remember that post that you had mentioned to me about my wife about a steak that she had made?
Yes. Was that in the air fryer?
That was with the air fryer, brother.
Okay. So is it good? Because I had an opinion about that, and I asked. It was a gentleman I work with. I'm not gonna put his name out there, but I'll call him S. I was asking, like, yeah, I saw the
Can I
thing
call
that
him
you.
Hank?
No, not him.
I'm just kidding.
I would ask him to see if he has one, to see if what he says, maybe get different opinions. But I asked if you could put a steak in there, and he said it's not. That it'd be kind of like the last option to do it, like to put it in the air fryer, meaning like I kind of took it as it's not as good.
No.
But you tell me, I mean, firsthand, you've tried it, you have one, and you've done it, and the steak on your wife's on Instagram, I was like, dude, that shit looks bomb.
So okay, so the thing is you have to make sure your steak has marbling, right?
Okay.
Where it's going to be a like like a T-bone or just a steak, a good barbecue steak. Any barbecue steak is going to turn out very good.
Okay.
The only thing, so this is the only qualm I have. Well, actually, I just shouldn't even say it's a qualm because it was the expectation I had was that it was going to save me time. I thought, if I have, if I'm cooking dinner for my wife and I just want to throw it in the air fryer real quick, and then, it'd be quicker. It's not quicker. That's the only thing. It's not quicker.
Interesting.
But I'm telling you, I can't tell you. I mean, and you're talking to someone who is a really bad cook. So, so every time I try to surprise my wife with a surprise steak, like whether it was on the grill, whenever it was on the grill, I would burn the outside too much. Right. And it's just, I suck at the grill. I just do. I can cook hamburgers really good, but I can't cook steaks on the grill. So, and then, and I hate cooking steaks on the stove because that's just, it takes everything out of it.
Yeah.
Sucks. And so when I got the air fryer like that, I remember I told my wife, I'm like, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna try it out. So I made it, and she was like that was the first time I looked at her and she actually looked at me and she was proud of something that I had done. I'm just kidding.
Damn, that fucking air fryer.
But as far as cooking,
okay,
like that can make a bad cook look good.
Okay.
So I'm all for the air fryer.
Okay. Damn. Okay. I'm glad that I made that purchase then, because I was just one of those things where I put it to the side, and I was like, man, there's a lot of people, vouching for this thing, and I had to get some opinions from people that actually use it, like that I know, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And of course, Amazon Prime Day or Prime Day deal, whatever they call it, fucking order that shit. It should be tomorrow, and I'm anxious to use it.
Dude, I'm telling you, Prime is it's infiltrating our house on every level. Dude, like, okay, so they sent, how every year for Black Friday, they the retailers like Walmart, Target, whatever, all your retailers will send you like a booklet of things to
the deals and stuff. Yep.
Amazon did that this year. And
yeah, that's right. Yes, I saw the book. I didn't go through it, but yes, continue.
I gave it to my daughter and I said, circle everything that you want the elves to make you. And so it's sitting in her thing. And so she turns the page. Daddy, I want this. I go, oh, you want the elves to make that one for you? Okay. Circle all the stuff you want. So, dude, I'm telling you, they are knocking it out of the park.
Yeah. It's such a convenience, man. And it's cool because there's times where you order certain things, it'll give you like an estimated date on when it'll arrive. But I've gotten things even like a day earlier than what the estimated time is. And I'm like, dude, they're really fucking just pumping all this out, delivering it to you at the fastest the way they can possible. And all from your fucking phone. It's insane. And you know what the crazy thing is too? So upon looking for that air fryer, right? I don't know if you've noticed, but you can actually like see and do like a 3D kind of imagery of like if it could fit on whatever place in your kitchen, like you're looking to put it on. I'm like, this is fucking insane. I'm like, I mean, how easier could they make these, like to where it's making shopping a little bit more easier, because there's some things that you might not like, you're kind of unsure, you have to measure out, like if you're getting a desk or something. Now they have it where, all right, put the phone, position it in your room where you're going to put it, and it'll exactly put, like, it'll measure out how big the table is and you can fucking have like an idea of how big this thing is, where it can fit. Fuck, dude, we're living in the future, baby.
That reminds me, when you're talking about that, that reminds me of this time. So you're just thinking of, like, I'm thinking of, when you say that, like, that obviously took a whole team of people that was a project that they said, okay, this is what we want. We want 3D imagery, da 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 da, go to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm telling you, one time I was flying out of Seattle.
Okay.
And I parked at the you know where you can park your car and then the shuttle will take you to the airport. If you're going to be on for like a week or whatever, you can leave your car at this parking lot.
I don't know, because I mean I hardly go to Seattle.
Okay.
But
well,
okay,
like,
I'm
if you're
you, though.
flying out, like, say you're going on a vacation,
Okay.
and you don't want someone to give you a ride to the airport, you just want to leave your car at the parking lot, and then the shuttle will take you to the airport.
I left my car there once when I went to Vegas. Yes. Okay, I do remember. Okay.
So I was getting in that shuttle, and I'm riding the shuttle, and I see this guy, sitting next to me, and we're just, small chat. He's asking where I'm going. I think this was a time I was going to the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, where are you going? He says, I'm going to China. I said, oh, okay. And, we're asking what we do. I tell him where I work, and I ask him where he works. He says he's Amazon. I go, oh, wow. What do you do? And he goes, well, you know, when you look at the Amazon app and you see the buy now button, and I go, yeah. He goes, I made that.
Oh, man. This is big. No, this is big, because imagine, this is the person that made something that millions and millions of people fucking use on a daily. Billions. Bezos billions. No, that's wow. Okay. So
I'm
he said
looking at him, I'm like, do I take a picture with him? Do I get his autograph? What do I do? Right. What do I do? Do I get his business card?
Man, so random too.
Just it was there. Random. I mean, obviously he wears it like a badge of honor, because,
oh yeah,
I mean, yeah, like, I made the buy now button at Amazon.
It's fucking boss right there. That's a little flex cool, right there.
Man. It was cool. Yeah. So I'm just telling you, man, like, it's amazing. Like, the people you meet in this world, it's so amazing. And and it's just like you just cross paths. And this is why I love the Tip Touch. I love the guests that we get, and you just anything. So speaking of just random people, I ran into another random person this week, and I think we need to get him on the podcast
for sure.
Because this guy, we were just having a small chat, and then he asked what we were asking, what we were going to do this weekend. And I said, probably drink until I pass out. And I said, what are you doing? He says, oh, I'm going hunting for Bigfoot. And I'm like,
okay.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, like, it's just like aliens, right? Like, you know where I'm at with aliens. Like, so he's being real though. Like, I can tell he's not joking.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you're for real going hunting for Bigfoot? And he goes, yeah. He goes, actually, we've been real close to him before. And dude, he breaks out his phone. I kid you not. I met this guy. Like, it's blowing my mind, because, like, these are the things you read about on the internet.
Yeah.
On the Discovery Channel, yada, yada, yada. But apparently there is a Bigfoot group in this state, and where they, like, these people are people who have tried to set up cameras. So, like, this guy, he set up a night vision camera trying to get this image of Bigfoot, and he got this image. He's showing me Bigfoot's footprints. Like, he's showing me where his wife has her foot in this Bigfoot thing, and then showing how much bigger this Bigfoot imprint is. And he goes, and this soil is not soil that you can just slam in. That's how heavy these things are. And then he's talking about how there's like a baby Bigfoot, and then there's the alpha Bigfoot, and then he says, like, he's showing me a tree. He goes, yeah, see this tree? He goes 5 minutes prior to me taking that picture, they snapped it. And what they were doing when the Bigfoot snapped this tree was they were setting the boundary. They said, this is everything he's telling me. He says, Bigfoot is telling us, you stay on this side of the tree and we will stay on this side of the tree. And so he made friends with this Bigfoot clan by setting a bunch of apples. He calls it an apple drop. and he was showing me pictures of all these apples, like on this tree that Bigfoot snapped in front of him. They put apples down, and then they went away. They came back, and all the apples were gone. And so then they were saying like Bigfoot they've thrown rocks at him, but not to hit him, because if they wanted to hit him, they could. Um, but they just threw it near the road, like where they were, to let them know that, hey, we're here, just letting you guys know. So,
dude, all I want to say, I'm very intrigued on talking to this gentleman.
And this guy,
and I have a bunch of questions I want to ask, just because we've always heard about this topic, right? And this falls in line with just all the UFO stuff and all that, right?
Yeah.
And it would be kind of a learning experience for me personally, but just the fact that he's actually out there doing his due diligence to show proof and really have it seems like he has like we can call them facts, kind of lined out to where he can talk to you about this and just not say, oh yeah, I've seen Bigfoot before. Well, okay, you need to tell me more than just that. I mean, when somebody would tell me that, or somebody have told me that, I'd be like, okay, just be nonchalant about it. But this dude seems like I said, he's doing his work to really prove to you, like, this. Dude, this is what the TikTok podcast is all about. And this is why I love being part of this, because I like to chop it up with different people, man. I like to have those cool conversations, just interesting conversations. Right from what you told me, it's kind of like a fucking hook for me to be clunged on, and you fucking hooked me, baby. So yeah. I'm so down for that, and I'm sure this will be an awesome episode for all the listeners and viewers out there. And we definitely need to pin that out, man.
And it's so cool, because like this is a guy I've talked to like for years. I've known him for probably about 9 years. I've known him for about 9 years, and we've never talked about this. He's just
interesting.
Like, his main thing is he loves his grandkids. He's always talking about his grandkids, which are the same age as my kids, and so that's one thing we talk about a lot, But then when he just threw this out there, I'm like, and this isn't something you can just tell anybody, right? This is just, I mean, you just don't tell people, because what you're going to run into. So, obviously there's been some sort of a trust built between us, but I didn't look at him with any doubt or anything. I was just like, no, I just want to know more. I want to know. And so here's one thing I was thinking, my brain, it goes a million miles an hour when I hear this kind of stuff. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go, do they attack humans? And he goes, well, yeah, they've been known to attack humans from time to time and whatnot. And I got to thinking, there was this one time I was reading, I love conspiracies because I think most of them are false. I think that people's brains just go in these weird directions. They can't prove it. And then the internet, people just garble up anything, they'll
run with
anything. It. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so one thing I read, and you can go online and see it, is missing people from national parks. And so there's this conspiracy that there are a group of people that are going into national parks and kidnapping people, because I guess people are easier to kidnap in national parks, but there's like a spike in missing persons from national parks. So,
okay.
And the conspiracy was that they were like taking them, whatever. I'll let people read that. I'm not going to go into what the interwebs are saying. But I said, if this whole missing persons from national parks stat is true, and if Bigfoot is true, could it be that Bigfoot's the real culprit? We're going at a million miles. And of course, I could never answer that. He could never answer that. But it, and you're thinking, how can that evade modern science? But dude, I don't know. But he was just telling me about how smart they were. I asked him what kind of calls, what kind of sounds they make. And he's like, I can't really do it right here because, they're very loud and you have to but they do calls for him. And then they do calls by hitting trees, and yeah, it's crazy. It's so crazy.
Man, dude, I just have a bunch of questions, only because, like I said, this has always been something that I've heard and, people talk about here and there on podcasts and articles that I've read. But I do know that here up in the good Pacific Northwest, it's a very active thing where people like come up here and like kind of look for that type of stuff,
Yeah.
or for Bigfoot, and try to like, there's a cafe too up here that's really popular that I've seen on shows. It's like in relation to Bigfoot, and they get like it's like a little tourism area where they go out there and they sell like merch, like Bigfoot merch and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I mean, like I'm stoked to really get that going and see if we can plan that one out. And it would be an awesome conversation, I feel like, to dive into that firsthand, and to see what it's all about.
Like a real conspiracy where you actually meet someone who is actually in it and
doing the work. Yeah, dude,
man,
awesome, fucking awesome, dude. You need to wear your Bigfoot hat too for that. Your hat that you had, that's that one.
I used to, dude. I left that at a what are those gyms? What's that exercise called? A CrossFit. I left it at a CrossFit gym one time, and then but the guy was such a dick that I just left it. Like,
no, you have another one you wear that you wore a couple
that.
times. It's the one with the blue brim.
Oh, I got it. Hold on.
Yeah. He'll be back here, ladies and gentlemen. He's about to get his Bigfoot hat that we're describing right now, which is an awesome piece. Yeah, baby. There you go. That's pretty sick, by the way. I was actually gonna ask you where you got that.
I got this. There's a little tribal gas station by my house where they sell hella beer.
I would want to ask to see if there's any like a mythology story or some kind of story within the tribe talking about Bigfoot, to see. That would be man. Like I said, I have so many questions already kind of coming up in my head, and to see if there's any relations to native tribes around here, to see if they have anything talking about it.
Native tribes do have stories about, and I forget what they call it, but they call them some sort of a giant or whatever, but it's a real thing in even tribal mythology.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting, bro. Really interesting. Like I said, we need to definitely figure out a time where we can get him on and see if we can do it and get it out here very soon, because like that's something really, really interesting. I want to like I said, talk about and get some answers to, and see. Fuck, maybe we can go out there ourselves and fucking see if we can hunt this thing with them.
That would be sick. Like if we could go on some sort of a mission like that.
Oh, dude, just on the go, like it
and die.
No, hopefully not that. I want to go back to my family, Brett.
Yeah. Hey, if I go missing out in the national park, it's probably the aliens. Probably not
Bigfoot. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Oh, okay. Let's do a quick 180 and just change what is it? Topics on this. Did you see that video of the guy running at the police car with that like tiki stick looking thing and light the thing on fire? He was in the car. It was in Seattle. Oh my God. We were actually talking about this at work today. Me and the person that I was working with. So there's this video, Seattle PD. Okay. Driving down this alley. He got reports of some guy walking around with this like tiki looking flame torch type, stick, like fire on top of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
As he's driving down this alley, he sees him. This guy comes running at him and he's telling him, stop. Dude comes so close. Yeah, in the body cam. I think it was his body cam. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's what it was that was recording the whole incident. Dude shoves the freaking fire inside the cop car. Cop car gets on fire. He lets off shots at this guy. Guy's running. Guy ran away, turns the corner, gone. The whole car lit up on fire. I'm like, fuck, dude. It's like, damn, dude. Seattle's turning into somewhat of a Gotham. The Gotham, the city that Batman protects.
Dude,
it's crazy shit, man. And they're saying that, and you might know a little bit about this too as well. There's a lot of police officers leaving the force, right?
We've lost 100 police officers in 2020.
That's fucking 100, dude.
And like this is the lowest they've had since the early 90s.
Yeah.
And they said that crime is climbing up higher than it's ever been.
That's like fucking nuts,
Gotham was dead on. That's dead on. Where is Batman?
I know, right? Fuck. Robin. Man. At least Robin.
And it's very scary because I've been paying attention to there's some YouTube people that I follow, and a lot of them are based in California, and dude, I'm seeing so many of them saying, hey guys, so sorry to let you guys know, but we're moving from California. and they're all stating the same reasons. They're talking about state taxes, crime, drugs, and yeah, those are the three things that they're here, they are, they're paying all these taxes, and with that, with paying all these taxes, the expectation is that, okay, if I'm paying you taxes, you have to keep our streets safe.
Yeah.
And so there was this one guy showing a video. He says, this is this one street in 2016, and it's like a normal city block, and he says this is this year, and there's just the whole street is lined with tents. There's just, there, and this is not to disparage homeless people at all, because people um fall into hard times. And
Yeah, for
I
sure.
I worked at a homeless shelter. I volunteered at a homeless shelter when I got myself in some trouble when I was a teenager, but I chose to work at a homeless shelter for my what was it, restitution or community service. I was sentenced to community service. But I talked with those people, and one thing they always said is that, like, don't, like, don't continue to make the wrong mistakes, because
Mm-hmm.
you will find yourself in a situation like this. But even people that don't make mistakes end up like that. My hometown in Kalispell, Montana, they have a especially hard time in the winter, because if someone loses their job in the winter, some of these people end up living in their cars, and in the dead of winter, I tell you, Montana winters are not friendly at all.
Yeah, I
And
bet it's fucking
uh,
cold, dude.
yeah. So anyway, and then you talk about, having in LA 60,000 people. Like, that's bigger than a lot of cities I've lived in. And you're talking about a whole city's worth of people that are all homeless. And so the it begs the question, where is the tax money going? Where is
Yeah.
it going?
Yeah.
So, and sadly, Portland, Seattle, we're seeing the same things. We are seeing the same exact story. It's the same song, and it's a sad situation, and this is not
Yeah.
something you can blame on anybody but your own local politicians. There's no one else that you can blame for that. So I don't know. I don't know. It's rough. Like, we live sort of north of it, so we're not as impacted by it, but we see it. I mean,
Yeah, we definitely see it.
where was it today I had to drive around. There was this guy that was just, we were shopping, we were getting Halloween decorations, and we were in one of the parking, we were in a parking lot, I think Walmart or Target, Walmart. And there was this guy who almost like he was following us, and I'm like, man, I've got my little girl with me. I don't want any problems. So, I just drive like as quickly around him as I can, and he kind of speeds up, but I'm just like, I mean, I'm in a car, there's nothing that's going to happen, but still, and then you're driving. And I was driving down the road, and I saw this other guy, just homeless guy in dreadlocks, just like his head, he was just barely staying awake. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And it's just, no one is, I don't want to say no one's fixing it, but it's such it's gotten out of control. And I don't
Yeah.
know. And honestly, you know what I think it is? I think it's these communities that said, they turned a blind eye. They started lowering, um, uh, whatever crimes, punishment on drug offenses. Right. So now, I don't know, man. But I mean, if you look at a lot of this stuff, it comes down to that these people are on drugs, and we have a massive problem. I remember when first started in Montana, it was 1999, and we were hearing of people that were like, it would start where people were just robbing people's houses, like, because they were just so, they just needed to get that high. They need, and so they were just, they'd break into your car and steal your book of CDs. Back when, remember when we had those books of
Oh
CDs?
yeah. I remember I had one. Yep. That was our
Yep.
fucking MP3 player, shuffle, whatever you want to call them nowadays, man.
Yeah. So it was
Yep.
just like a quick, what do you call it? A bash and grab, or whatever, the grab and run or whatever. But they would do that. and then they would take it to the pawn shop and like whatever they could get, and then that was their high for that day. So this isn't just, I mean, if you really look at it, I'm sure that it's not just your cities. It's just that in your cities there's a high amount of it. But this is an American problem, an American epidemic.
Yeah,
And
I feel like there's no progress being made at all whatsoever from the years where we started seeing progressing a little bit, or getting worse, I should say. And you're right. Where the fuck is all our? Where's my taxes going? Where are your taxes going to? Help this situation out. Like, I'm all about improvements, but if we're not seeing any of that, what the fuck,
yeah,
And
yeah,
along with that, crime goes up, because you're saying these people, if they are addicts, they want to get their next fix. What do you do to get to that next fix if you don't have the money? What are you
yep.
willing to do to get that high? Yeah, man, it's gone bad, bro. And it's again, it's one of those things where it kind of constantly comes up in my mind every time I'm driving around through certain areas. I'm like, fuck, man, like it just changed so much, dude. Honestly, it's
Dude, I
crazy.
mean, remember when I first moved to Washington, I never saw, I think you would go to Seattle and you would see just a few tents. Like,
Yeah,
and I remember, I was like, wow, this is pretty bad. And that was when I would give them money. I would be like, oh, okay, here, have, a burger. Just a country boy, and
yeah,
just coming in the city. But like now I go there and I'm just like, I see needles all over the ground. I'm seeing, and like back then they were just poor, right? They were just poor. Now you go there and they're just completely blitzed out of their mind, like they aren't even there.
yeah.
Like you don't even like you see this body, but no one's home.
Mm-hmm.
It's the craziest thing. I've this like there's something seriously wrong with this country.
Definitely, man. Definitely. It's definitely one of the many issues we have, transpiring right now. It's just nuts, dude. And a crazy story about me, about my kind of experience with that. I went to a concert one time, right? It was in Seattle, kind of by almost a little bit ahead of North Gate-ish, right? So I didn't park away too far from the venue. It was literally like a block away, right? And go to the concert, had a good time. I walk out, my fucking rear my rear window smashed.
Oh
Took my backpack.
man.
And it was crazy because I have the alarm and everything, and it's one of those things where I'm like, fuck, who could have done that? You know what I'm saying? Like, are people really that desperate to, go ahead, bash the fucking window, grab the backpack and dip out? And like, it didn't have anything of value in there. I think I only had like uh some food, and that was it. And nothing
Mm,
really like, anything confidential. It was just a backpack,
yeah.
But it's like, fuck, man, and now I have to go repair my window and all that. And, it was BS. But again, it could have been somebody that, probably was looking a quick way to get a couple bucks to get some drugs or something, or just, there's a backpack there. Cause I'm sure they must have like really looked inside to see if there's anything. Cause I had it to where like it was in the back of the seat, kind of like underneath, like not underneath,
Mm,
but on the floor.
yeah.
So they were definitely like looking around to see what they could get. And that was the only thing that I had of value in there. So I was like, man, whatever, it is what it is. Insurance will cover and all that. But, and like
Yeah.
you said, now I'm kind of sketched after that. I'm kind of sketched out of like even like parking over there, leaving my car overnight or something like that. I won't fucking do that
Yep.
whatsoever. And as it is, even before all this, like aside from the subject, I hardly even like going downtown, man. I'm just really not like, I'm not really a city guy. I'm more of like an outskirts, like out there in the boonies,
I'm a
type.
suburb kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I just come from a different area, man. And the thing is, I'm accustomed to it now, but like I wouldn't mind trading this to be like kind of out on the outskirts, just out there by the mountains, just kind of chilling,
Dude,
nothing but silence, crickets.
yep.
I'm just like that type of guy, man.
There's a lot of people that are making that decision. I actually, I'll just be honest, like my wife and I, we are actively saving to move.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I've lost a lot of faith. I mean, here's the thing. I love this state. I love the fact that where we live in Western Washington, you can, you're within 2 hours of wherever you want to be. If you want to be in the mountains, cool. You want to go to the city, cool. You want to go to the desert, cool. You want to go to the water, cool. Like the ocean, cool. We have it all, and it's just like the people in California. these people are so sad to leave. They are so sad because they're just like talking about how the weather is just perfect and how the people, they're like, California had its own culture, where they're just like, you knew someone was from California because it would like, it was all cool, laid back, like Sublime. Think of Sublime, think of West
Yeah.
Coast, whatever. And they just had their own vibe. And now you're almost being forced out of it because of the inaction of the leaders, the leaders that have been there for years and that are
Yeah.
just allowing this stuff to happen. So, and so, yeah, I'm talking to a lot of people. I was talking to a gal this morning who said that she has a gun. She's like, I bought a gun, and she's like so paranoid. And here's the thing, she bought another one, and she was talking about how she can't find ammo. She's like, what's the point in having a gun if I can't have ammo? And I was telling her, like, my tricks of the trade. I'm like, hey, this is where you can go if you want some ammo. This is where you can go. So I was hooking her up. But I also told her, I said, you got to think about it. Like, if you got to train, if you have a gun, you got to train with it, and you got to know that, like, it's a lot different when you're shooting it at the range, and you're calm, everything's right. But then you got someone breaking into your house, and you have to make a split second decision, and now you're aiming it at a person. Like, you got to think about that.
Yeah.
And I really don't recommend, like, even though I myself am a gun guy, I've grown up, gun has been just our culture.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't recommend everybody gets a gun. I just don't, because I don't think that a lot of people could. I think it would really be very hard for a lot of people to get over the fact that even if they had to, even if killing someone was their only option to survive themselves, I think a lot of people, especially women who are more, sympathetic by nature, not saying everybody,
By nature.
but
You got saved on that real quick.
well, I just don't want to, I don't want people to think that I'm saying all women are,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, some way. It's just, we're all different, right? I get it. But, in general, women are more sympathetic to where, if a woman has to take somebody's life, um, they are going to think about that in a way that a man most likely is not going. A man is going to say, hey, I defended my family, I did what I had to do. It sucks, and it's not what I wanted to do. But even a lot of men might find themselves in that same situation, like, man, I just took someone's
Yeah.
son away. Did I have to? And you're always going to think, like, could I have just fired one in the air? Could that have just scared them enough? And you're always going to think that's the worst thing to have to do, to think about, and that's the worst position to be in, when you are armed, when you are trained to protect your family.
Yeah.
So it's, the amount of people, though, that are thinking about this, that are doing things that they normally wouldn't do. It's amazing. It's surreal. It's surreal, because we're all going through this. We're all making decisions right now.
Definitely. No, definitely. And like I said, I'm getting mine here soon, in December, to get my prints done and all that. So we'll definitely be talking.
Concealed carry. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be talking to you here soon about, a couple pieces I want to, get, maybe 2, 3, who knows, shit, just be ready.
When you need some ammo, let's go on a field trip. I'll take you where you need to go.
Oh, definitely, dude. We're gonna be fucking mobbing, playing some POC.
It's a day trip. Let's plan on taking the family out. We'll stay the night.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man.
We'll make it a trip.
Nice. Yeah, dude. I'm stoked. I'm stoked though, man, because I think it'll, like I said, it's more of a thing where, for one, to protect my family, and it's something I've always wanted to do. And it's just one of the things where, like, this is not a way for me to say, like, a flex or anything about getting one or owning one or nothing like that whatsoever. And that's the one thing, I definitely, like, I think about, where I hope I don't have to use it in the worst situation. See what I'm saying? But if I have to, it's going to be done regardless, because it's my family first before anything, or myself, my life too, including. So, yeah, man, it's definitely a thing, especially now, like I said, in the times we're living in, man. It's, you always want to kind of keep, one eye behind your shoulder kind of type deal, or looking behind your shoulder to where you want to have to take those precautions. So I don't blame anybody to do the same thing, man. I'm with you 110%, man. So
Yeah.
that's where we're at with that, man.
Another thing too, just for people to pay attention to is if
Oh
you're
yeah,
in Washington, your ballots, mine just came in today, so I
yeah,
just
mine
wanted
did
to
too.
put that out there. You guys just
Go
vote, vote,
vote,
vote,
definitely
and
go vote.
this is more than Trump Biden. This is when you're reading your pamphlet, read about these things they are trying to pass in your state, because a lot of stuff that we're talking about right now, these are things that we vote on.
For
So
sure.
vote wisely, vote, be informed, understand what you're voting for, and just don't look at parties, just look at substance. That's the one thing that I think we're making a crazy mistake in this time that we're living in. Is there are so many people that are just voting on party lines and sticking with it, even if the party lines are giving them poison and rhetoric and fear and blah 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 on both sides. It's happening on both sides. Like, if someone wants to vote for Trump, make sure you're voting for the policies and the things. If you're voting for Biden, the same thing.
Hmm.
Don't vote just because I only vote D all the way down, I only vote R all the way down. I've always been someone who has voted like that. I'm more of a libertarian in any way, so like I wanted Ron Paul to be in office. I wanted both times that he ran, and I saw him lose two elections, and that was my guy, just because his main thing that he ran on was ending the Fed, talking about the fact that you have to make the Federal Reserve accountable. There's this private institution that prints all this money, and they control our economy. And I don't want to go into all that. We'll go into all that on another time. But I'm just saying, like, for me, it's personal. Like, when I vote for people, I voted Democrat, I voted Republican, and but I'm always looking for those people that are willing to sort of vote for or run for what's right. What is
Exactly.
the right thing to do right now?
And it to kind of sum it all up, just reading between the lines, man. Do your research and really kind of focus on what these people are going to present to you or present to everybody that you feel is right for the people, right?
Mhm.
So definitely do your due diligence to go out there and do your research and look on these people. Look what they're all about. Find out their backgrounds, what they stand for, what their beliefs are, etc. All that, and then that's true. That's kind of one thing that I kind of have to remind myself too as well. What's in it for me? Why am I going to vote for this person? See what I'm saying? Or in it for everybody else that, if they're going to make it this an evil playing field, you know what I'm saying? So, and we kind of talked about that, off air, and it really comes down to where, you know, if it's gonna be an equal thing for everybody else, for the people, a government for the people by the people type shit, I'm with that
Yeah.
110%.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
like, yeah, that's it's funny because my wife showed us ours when it came in today, and she looked at me, and
Mine
it's
did
funny you
too.
brought that up. You
That's
fucking
cool.
read my mind, I swear, man.
No, I'm telling you, I saw mine, and that's why I put the black tape on it. I'm like, nope, nope. We
Showing
got
the
it.
address,
This
showing
is
the
our
addy. I ain't showing
platform,
daddy.
right? We are communicating. We're
Hmm.
connecting with our community, whether it's local or not. I mean, we're having most people are doing mail-in ballots this year,
Yep.
and Washington has always been or not always, but they are a mail-in ballot state. So we are used to this whole thing. So when we hear about all this stuff, now it does suck. Like, I want to see real consequences to these people who are dumping ballots.
Yeah.
I want to
There's gonna
see.
be some
I
jail
mean, it's a
time shit
federal
right there.
crime. I
Yeah.
want to see federal offenses punished harshly, because this is one of the very few things we can do. And I hear it all the time. Oh, our votes don't matter. Our votes don't matter. If they didn't matter, we wouldn't see the changes that we're seeing. And right now,
Yeah.
we
Straight.
are seeing more change than we've ever seen. So your vote does matter. It absolutely matters. And I say another thing too: trust the system. Trust the system, because there's enough of us out there that there if there was corruption, if there was somebody rigging the votes or whatever, um, we're going to find them, and that's why I say it's so important and crucial that these people, if they do get caught, are punished. Years in federal prison. That's you can't. This is not a light crime. If somebody wants to dump a bunch of ballots because they're military ballots or they're whatever, it doesn't matter. But we have to trust the system. So in order to trust the system, we have to police the system. But first, trust it. I think there's a lot of fear out there right now, and I don't know. I don't want us to be dictated by fear. I don't think that it's a place that it's not human nature. We're not supposed to be scared. We're supposed to rise to the call. If there's a call in our, and it might seem scary or daunting or whatever, just deal with it head on, and we will get through it. We've been around for, what was it? As a civilized human race, we've kept history for at least 6,000 years. We always find a way. We're going to be here another 6,000 years.
Yeah. When there's a will, there's a way. Right? I don't know.
That's it.
That. You just quoted that.
I love it.
But yeah, man, that's some real shit. Spin some bars. Even though you're not rhyming, you're spitting some bars though, regardless.
Let's see. Yeah, rhyming. It's I've been up since 4:00 this morning, so I'm a little tired, and yeah. But if I got to throw down, let's see. Oh, Ice Cube. Let's talk about Ice Cube real quick.
Okay, let's talk about it real quick. Okay.
Just only, and it'll be just real quick.
Okay.
So it was just funny to me because here he is getting hated on because the deal is he wants to work with anyone who will help the Black communities with what is the Platinum Plan? Like healthcare? Is that what we're talking about?
I believe so. Healthcare. Is the stimulus involved in that or two or not? Or am I fucking?
This is our ignorance. We didn't study because we weren't prepared for the story. But It was just something that I was reading was that it was a cause that he was fighting for to help the Black community, and he's always been a voice for the Black communities, the inner city voice, and he's always been real. He's always kept it real. So recently he was on an interview with Chris Cuomo where they pretty much tried to light him up for working with Trump, and he broke it down. He said, listen, I'm working with anybody who will listen, who will help. One party said wait till after the election, the other one said we'll talk to you right now. So the one that says that they're talking to me right now, that's who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
I'm all for anyone, but he's saying he's been lied to by both sides. The not him, but Black people in general have been lied to by both sides. So that's all he's trying to say is we've been lied to a number of times. But if somebody's saying they're going to give us an opportunity here, we're going to take it. And and again, it was just that's a prime example of work with whatever is right and whoever is right, whoever is helping you do this. That's how you move through life. I mean, you don't go it's almost they want us all to be in whatever party affiliation you're in. Okay, if you're a Republican, I want you to always wear red. If you're a Democrat, I want you to always wear blue. And those are the only people I want to associate with. I want my doctors to be Democrats. I want my dentists to be Democrats. I want my cashiers to be Democrats. And I want my boss to be Democrat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And other way. And that's how it's almost like they're trying to make it to where if anyone's winning, if the Republicans or if the Democrats have a winning thing, oh, we've got this Obamacare, then the Republicans will take the side no, we can't. We got to do something anti, and then they'll just basically do the same thing, but just put a different label on it.
And that represents them in a way, kind of like this kind of has a name that stands for Republican side instead of the Democrat side, right?
Right.
That's how I always looked at it. And it's always kind of you try to make it things as simple as you can. But back into the Ice Cube topic. I mean, what's wrong with that? If he's gonna get major, results from this, how can the black community be mad at that if that's something that they're fighting for? See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like if it comes to it, because we don't know what's going on right now. I mean, obviously they know what they're talking about. He knows what, what the talks are behind closed doors and all that. But here you have somebody from the ground floor going in there and discussing what the problems are and what can be a resolution to this whole thing. Maybe we get results. Sure. Maybe not. Probably, because like you said, he's been lied to by, or the black community has been lied to by both parties in the past, and here we are. Right. So it's interesting to see though, because like here you have CNN try to grill him, like you were saying, but it's like you said, like he's trying to work with anybody that's willing to come to the table and work with him. So it's like, well, why are you getting on his case if he's trying to do the fucking right thing? Where's everybody at though? You know what I'm saying? Like that's trying to be in his position and do the same thing. So I don't know, man. I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm like I said, Ice Cube's. I mean, I've loved, aside from his, his political standpoint. I love his music. He's a good actor. I just definitely think that it's cool to see him get involved into politics and really kind of put his money where his mouth is when he talks about this stuff on his songs and all that. He's actually doing out there doing the work. So much respect to Cube on doing that and being kind of like one of the many voices of the people and putting being grounds on the boot type dude. So. Yeah, but you're right.
He was
one
of my childhood heroes. I've always loved Ice Cube. He's just, and watching him grow and do family movies. Now it's like I can invite my family into the room too. Like, hey, come on in.
And that's the part of evolution as a person, man. And growing up, it's like you can't always expect to be, you can always expect somebody to be the same forever. I mean, he's a good example of seeing, a progress, like how a person can go from what he was back then, street guy, all this stuff. I mean, he's a little hood. I guarantee you, don't fuck with him. He'll still be kind of the same Cube and all that. But he's kind of like, I guess, simmer down a little bit and kind of say, I'm not really about it. If someone fucks with me, I'm not afraid to fucking throw the hands or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
It was like Dre when he said in one of his songs on the Chronic 2000.
I know what you're talking about.
Like, I got a lot more to lose than you.
Know? Or he's like,
things just ain't the same for gangsters.
Yeah, there's another one where he's like, someone planting plaques. He's like, but I sold my guns. Don't think I sold them all, or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. We're talking about the same thing.
Yeah. No, I see that. That's some real shit, though. That's some real shit. Don't think I sold them all, but I sold the majority of them. But I ain't sold all of them.
No, it's the truth, man. And we're all growing, and
definitely
let this be an opportunity for you to grow too. Don't fall into this trap that both sides are setting right now. Just this is what you follow. You follow your heart. What's right?
Right? Exactly. Follow the right thing. Woo. Damn, I feel like we're on the fucking train and we're arriving at our destination. Do you wanna call it good on that? The fucking conductor pulled that fucking plug. Choo motherfucker. So we reach our destination. And for everybody out there that wants to listen to all our previous past episodes, definitely go check us out on all major streaming platforms such as Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn FM Radio, all that good stuff. I mean, you can do your Googles to fucking tag it up and put the Tiptech podcast, and you'll see all the results of where you can listen to this lovely podcast. But if you want to see the video side of things, we got our YouTube page. Just search the Tiptech podcast. You can find all our videos. And I definitely want to start making clips. I know. I've been really adamant about doing clips just so you can see the cool parts or the funny parts or parts that you're just like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to do that, and I'll get to that because I want the people to have, all these and little certain parts to where if you want to listen to that whole episode, go to our backlog of episodes, boom, right there. So I'll definitely get to that. I promise I'll get to that. But anyways, until then, this is the Tiptech podcast. We're gonna sign off for now, but take care and have a good weekend, day, whatever you want to call it. Take care, baby.
And vote.